Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2, the Shadow and the Blade, I think is what this expansion is called. Let me explain, just in case it was unclear at the end of the last episode, what our predicament is here. Ordinarily, the red area around an army or city is called the Zone of Control, and ordinarily, you're not allowed to cross the border of the Zone of Control. Like, I couldn't just issue a move order for this army to move right here. If I tried that, you can see there's a little red X by the cursor. He'll say, no, I can't do that. The only time you can enter a zone of control is to execute an attack order. In theory, that shouldn't prevent you from leaving a zone of control. I'm pretty sure that stuff like this, where you can't just walk out of a zone of control, is a bug. But it's a bug that's existed for a long time. So the reason we can't cross this line is because we're not allowed to cross the border of the zone of control. However, somebody suggested to me a thing that might work if we set up like we were going to attack Magritta and then call off the siege. Yes, okay. The action of calling off the siege pushes you outside of the circle. That's very helpful. And so we definitely want to chase these dudes down and finish the job, right?
Bigger warp forging.
Okay, on this one, we're totally just going to auto-resolve. We have no units who are at low health who might be devoured. You can see it did spread out a little bit more damage than we probably would have taken in total there, but we can just replenish... Actually, we cannot replenish very much of that. I'm going to take it as 2 food then, because this is really not a lot of replenishment. Alright. We've achieved victory in multiple offensive battles. I really like these traits. It's like, achieve victory in multiple offensive battles to move up this way toward better and better bonuses. Lose in offensive battles to move this way toward better penalty or toward bigger penalties. It's a cool idea for like a way to shape who a character is by what they actually do. I'm really pleased that they put those in. In actual practice, you don't lose like a ton of battles in a campaign, and so no character ever ends up with the third tier losing offensive battles thing. But it's a cool idea at least. So, Lupio Sunscryer, do I think that if you went back to full movement, you'd be able to stop me from sieging Magritta? Oh, actually, I can't reach Magritta anyway. I spent too much movement. That's fine. We'll just hang out right here, right nearby. We'll stay on our side of the line, obviously, because we want to get our replenishment. But that worked out really well. So now he's in a little bit of an unusual position. He's going to have to figure out what he intends to do. We have enough money to start this, which is vital. So that's going to unlock another 2 building slots. It's going to give us the ability to upgrade everything to tier 3. It's going to give us the weapon teams. That's a big, big upgrade. Very curious what Lupio Sunscryer is going to do here. If he moves forward into the ambush, fingers crossed that we can actually kill him. We should be able to. Because we'll have about the same total number of units that he has. Actually, we'll have slightly more, I think. But also, we have a wizard, and we have, there's a warp lightning cannon or something in that garrison, right? You'll have to forgive me, it's been like 15 whole hours since I recorded the last episode. Not more than that, but it's been some time since I recorded the last episode, and so I've forgotten everything. The Golden Order has attacked the Beastmen. Well, listen, we were never going to be able to get along with the Golden Order anyway. Those are Empire guys, so sure. Enter the war on the side of my ally. Skaven don't usually practice a lot of loyalty, and I think what you're seeing right now is why. Loyalty drags you into a bunch of nonsense, but it also means that the Beastmen might come and help you kill these guys, maybe. Okay, he just did a full march mode back into the city. What a coward. Well, the good news is that means that we now have time to clean up our rebellions. The bad news is that means Magritta is in pretty good shape. It's going to be hard to take over. Can fast mode this. Actually, I need to set the animation speeds for our for people here. Okay, so we have raiding in Skaven Blight. Look at him. Ooh, he has catapults. That army's a little bit more powerful than I thought it was going to be. And there's actually a lot of orcs over here. That's a full 20 stack. And also another 10. I wonder if the orcs are actually going to take out Miragliano. That would be very convenient for me. So what do we want to do here? Are you guys... How do you guys feel about me? You do not like me. Although apparently we've had treaties in the past. That's interesting. I do have to eliminate you from my objectives, but I guess we were friends at one point. What I'm really curious about, though, is how does Estalia feel about you? Okay, Estalia's very negative about the, they're trending toward. Very negative. I think they must have just met this turn. It would be cool if these guys went to war. That would help us out a lot. We have a kind of a weird position, a weird situation here with Tabara and Bilbali. If our settlements in the province of Estalia go into rebellion, one of these two cities will have a rebellion spawn right outside of it, but I don't know if there's a way to know which one ahead of time. If you have the capital, they always spawn outside the capital, but otherwise they just spawn outside of one of the others. And we can't really be in position to guard both of them at the same time, so we probably have to start taking our public order fairly seriously here. You know what we should probably do is just run over and attack these guys. It is not going to be easy for us to finish off the Estalians, but I think we have to fall back, deal with Skaven Blight. One thing that we can do, and we probably should do, is let these guys raid and do their thing for a little while. You can see here we're currently getting a massive public order bonus from the fact that all of the rats that are unhappy are leaving to join the rebellion. So we want to let them do that and then kill them all, and then Skaven Blight will have, hopefully, quite a bit of time before the next rebellion. I don't know if we'll actually be able to stop another rebellion from happening. So are we taxing in both places? Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Just trying to figure out like what I want to do here. We might want to just turn off taxation in this province for a little while, because we kind of desperately need to get things under control here. We definitely need to get growth going, because we have to get Bilbali and Tabaro both to a place where we could where we can finish their walls. We're not going to be able to do that without the money from the taxation. It's an awkward situation. All right, let's do. I guess let's just stop here. Oh yeah, and we have you. You get to do your thing. Let's establish a warlock laboratory underneath Miragliano. If the orcs burn it down immediately afterward, I will be sad. Alright, so we've got our first Undercity. Let's see what this does. He was not killed in the line of duty. He transformed into a laboratory. He's like the Optimus Prime of rats. So, we've got a warlock laboratory here. Plus 50 XP per turn for all warlock engineers faction-wide. Research rate bonus, that's pretty cool. Skaven corruption up in places. The discoverability stat that you see at the bottom there is how easy it is for them to figure out that we are here. If they do figure out that we are here, they can burn out the Undercity over time. Most buildings in an Undercity increase discoverability, and the region owner can also construct buildings or use heroes to help detect it. That screaming is the goblins in those orc armies, by the way. I'm sorry if anybody else is as annoyed as I am by it. Alright, there's lots of... Wow, there's a lot of different kinds of buildings you can build in these things. Okay, that's interesting. Well, not much we can do with it for right now. I guess we should try to figure out... Scavenger raiders can get food. We can get income at the raiding camp. That's a pretty high level. Okay, we can generate income off of them here for 1,000 gold each. Sorry, for 1,000 gold, and then that building gets upgraded later for another 3,000. Income gained from the local settlement's income. This has got to be a good value, right? Can we see that? Yes, 1432, okay. So how much would that building be? That's also only 1,000. It would give us 20% of 1432, which is a little bit better. I mean, what we really want to do is build both of these, right? This is a mining structure that... Ooh, 5% chance per turn to expand the Under Empires to an adjacent region. We probably want to get that going, like, really early, right? Because we want to just make a huge network of tunnels out into the world. And then here, Ruination. It's just, what is this doing? It's just driving up corruption, but like at an incredible cost. Ah, but when you build the Vermintide War Camp, a Skaven army is summoned upon building completion. Okay. And this, the Doom Sphere, just completely destroys the settlement. Well, that's a pretty powerful thing. It increases discoverability by 160, and then how many turns does it take to build the final version of it? 15. Okay, so you have 160 extra discoverability for at least 15 turns. So there's a good chance they would notice, basically. Ooh, extra movement for our armies in the region. Yeah, this is really powerful. Okay, we need to get some money together. We need to make this work out. That's gonna save our economy if we can figure out how to put some money into it. How much was this upgrade? That does get us above 1,000. Yeah, so we should definitely just build this guy. These do consume a food each turn, which is not ideal, but we need the money. Yeah, so that's going to be almost 300 gold per turn right there. Alright. Let us see how the rebel army responds to the situation. My guess is they're going to stand still and raid for another turn or two before they make any decisions. The Estalians might chase us down the road. Lana Sawfish actually got up on land. That's interesting. I was expecting her to just kind of sail around for a while. Maybe the pirates are actually planning on declaring war on Estalia. Or maybe they're planning on declaring war on me, but they want to do it when their army is next to Bilbali. Oh, hold on. While we're here, let's, okay, all allied factions, speeds fastest. All enemy factions, speeds fastest. Everybody else, turns out I want you to go the fastest. Okay. All that does is affect their movement speed like this. Little concerned about that. Why are there Bretonnians down here? What could they possibly need? I think we may find ourselves unable to hold on to Bilbali. And it seems like a whole bunch of Stallions are now moving out. Something's happening up there. We might need to get a grasp of the economic, or the socio-political situation in the area just north of us, because something is definitely happening. Okay, Banning's army was seen by the rebels, and we finished driven by hunger.
Your man gods and dubious masters.
Okay, they're not at war with anybody except us and the Beastmen. It's possible that the Carcassonne guys are just coming for us. Totally possible. Ah, yes, they and Estalia are good friends. That's absolutely what's happening here. So we're gonna lose Bilbali then. Like, my level of certainty on that is such that I think maybe we should just demolish the building to get the 300 gold back. It's only 300 gold, whatever. Okay, let's fight these guys. That's probably enough time, and their army is starting to get pretty large. It has multiple units of Plague Claw catapults in it, which I really am concerned about. So let's just move you up to here. Okay. We did get the ambush off. It looks like we can just auto-resolve this. I'm gonna quick save just in case. This shouldn't actually be a difficult fight. We would just swarm the catapults with Menace Below charges and the Doom Flayers. But I'm gonna quick save before I hit auto-resolve just in case it decides to kill all my weapon teams or something. Okay, that's a fine outcome. And that was actually a ton of food. That's a good way of making food. Turns out Skaven have no compunction about cannibalism. Meat is meat is meat. We got a level, and we've now leveled up into our Regiments of Renown. So, let's talk about those guys. Also, we found some amulets and stuff, which is cool. Alright. Ikid Claw is very excited about everything all the time. So, Regiments of Renown. The Regiments of Renown with the purple images are just upgraded versions of existing units. So you can see this is a Clan Rat shield unit called the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. It looks like they don't have any particular different abilities. but if we compare them to a normal unit of clan rats with shields, you can see they have a little bit more leadership. It's showing the difference between their stats and the normal ones here. They have more leadership, more melee attack, more defense. They're just like a better version of that thing. Also, they have fire attacks. That's pretty cool. So we unlock these by getting to level 10, and we can just recruit this at any time that we're in friendly territory. There are more to be unlocked at level 13, then 16, then 18. There's also these ones over here. These are the ones that are unlocked through the workshop, I'm assuming, based on the color. So those guys will be useful. We don't necessarily need them right now, though. Alright, so Skaven Blight is at -1 public order for the moment, due to a recent military crackdown, but that bonus is going to fall off eventually. I wonder if it... Man, I wonder how we're going to deal with this. I think I want to keep our growth going for right now. Also, we made some money there, so it seems to me we should probably install some more buildings in our Undercity. Is there a building we can install to reduce discoverability? I would probably be willing to pay the cost of a building slot to make this a little bit more secure. It looks like the answer is no. So maybe that being the case... Oh no, here we go. Yeah, that's discoverability -20. The buildings I was looking at right when I said that, you know? But maybe I do just want to take the mining building. Because it would be really cool if we could get a... if we get an expansion into adjacent regions. Like, we need this to build out. I'm going to try it. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it's not a good idea to build both the money buildings and this. Maybe what I should do instead is... instead of making a warp token stash, is just put in the deeper tunnels to hide the thing more effectively. But we really, really need the money, too. Yeah, we'll try it like this. If it ends up getting destroyed, we can rebuild it. Casualties mean little when your population literally breed like rats. Yeah, that's a thing we gotta get going. So our casualty replenishment rate right now looks like it's maybe in the neighborhood of like 1% or something. It's very bad. Troops replenished per turn 17. So yeah, it's a little over 1%. It will get better. We will get there. You get to take another spell. Should we get Flensing Rune, or should we... Let's upgrade Crack's Call all the way. Let's get it cheaper so that we can actually like reasonably use it in battle. Well, it looks to me like they may have abandoned Magritta. We're gonna go check. I'm gonna be real careful here. Secondary army's gonna go into ambush mode. We're just gonna not be obvious. You know what I could really use? We don't have the money for one, but we could really use a hero. We could use an agent that can run around the map and show us stuff. So, actually, do we have the ability to recruit heroes even? If we did have the money, nope. We need a hidden lair, or a pox cauldron, or a construction cavern. Alright, well, those are things we can keep an eye on, you know, once we have money again. As soon as we take Magritta, first of all, we can turn taxation back on in this region, in this whole province, pretty easily, because we'll be able to manage everything from the big central settlement. But also, we'll be making way more money off of Magritta's port. Yep, we are being raided now by the Bretonnians. We might actually be able to run that army off. The Bretonnians have some very impressive cavalry units, but they also have some of the worst melee units in the entire game. That is an army that is almost half crossbowmen. Interesting. So their big army went all the way to Bilbali. That might mean that we could grab Magritta. If they lose Magritta to us and we're able to get the walls back up, they'll never get it back. We'll be in really, really good shape. And now the Bretonnians are raiding Estalian territory, not my territory, so it's no longer my problem.
I will not obey.
Where did that secondary army go? Because this is not... this might be that second army they spawned. They might have just not recruited any units at all. That would be strange, though, because it's been like 2 turns. You would think they'd have something in there. Okay. Let's Let's move in on them. Do we have the ability to... We cannot quite reach it. That's a shame. Let's have the smaller army go forward first. Give me a little bit of intel here. Gonna stay far enough back to go into ambush mode. Trying not to be visible.
Travel now, now.
Yeah, the best thing that could possibly happen here is that army dallies in Babali for any reason at all. Maybe they like run off the Bretonnians or something, who knows. And they give us a turn to set up at Magritta, because we'll take it. We will absolutely take it.
Plan needs new, better rulers.
We're at 42 food and still in the gray. Or still in the orange, rather. That's weird. We should definitely be yellow. I mean, we're going to drop down anyway. But we were definitely above 40 food last turn, too. So, we could build a Doom Rocket. We could build 2 Doom Rockets if we really wanted. I mean, it's like, that's worth considering, right? Additional damage over time. To what? Why would you need additional damage over time? It completely deleted from existence everything that was near it. Find Warpstone. Casualty replenishment rate plus 10% after using a Doom Rocket is actually kind of a cool idea. Yeah, so maybe next turn we build 2 Doom Rockets, and then we attack Magritta and we just annihilate the defenders with the Doom Rockets. A lot's going to come down to what the Estalians do with their larger army here. Although, honestly, maybe the right play is we build 2 Doom Rockets and we just go at the large Estalian military with our 2 Doom Rockets.
Things for burn fuel in my warp form.
You want me to join your war against... No, those guys are real close to my borders. Absolutely not. I think I'm going to give the Beastmen some movement orders here. Your allies will not always do the things you ask of them. And if anybody's going to refuse to make a good decision on your behalf, it's going to be the Beastmen. But let's see.
Nothing conquers it.
So we can't see Bilbali anymore. We don't know where that army is. That makes me pretty nervous. Hold on. First thing we're going to do actually is go to the diplomacy screen, set a war coordination target here. There's a small, weak settlement. I bet you could claim it. Okay. Hopefully that'll get them back over here, because they're wandering around the world making trouble instead of doing things that are helpful to me. Obviously not acceptable. I wish I had a better sense of what 60 meant, you know? We are making money, though. We desperately needed it. So, what do we want to do with our money? We could build recruitment buildings. But I mean, like, what we want to do most is save up for 5,400 gold and build this.
Good for weapons testing.
It's not actually any extra food or research rate over the base version, but we sure could use those weapon teams. It does also have 150 gold on it. So I think we're not really building anything there. Alright. I'm gonna have these guys move over to, like, here. We don't see the enemy.
My technocracy.
So here's what we're gonna do.
Yes.
We're gonna go over here.
Attack! Attack!
We can't just attack the walls because the city is, because we don't have anything that can do siege damage. So we have to build either siege towers or battering rams to get into the city. Siege towers would take us multiple turns worth of construction, I believe. So yeah, we'll build a battering ram. Maybe we'll wait for a second one. The great danger here would be if Lupia Sunscryer were to come up behind us at this moment. I'm going to go into ambush mode here. I think the way this will work, if Lupio Sunscryer tries to come and push our army off of Magritta, the way this will work is he'll get ambushed by Banning, and then Ikit Claw's army will be able to serve as reinforcements, but the city won't be able to serve as reinforcements because the city is in the sieged state. So we'll be stack and a half against his stack, and we'll just have to figure it out. And I'm going to preemptively build us a Doom Rocket. Maybe 2. We'll see. Let's build 1. Okay, we cannot build 2. There's a 5-turn cooldown. That makes sense. If I'd known about that, I might have hit Refined Warpstone before we did it. In fact, I definitely would have. But that's fine. We'll survive. Hey, Doomflayers, you guys want some upgrades? Bonus versus infantry and charge bonus, that's probably the right call. Weapon strength and melee attack. Ooh, speed. Speed up is also very good. Or random warp lightning, because that's very fun. Oh, sorry, this is for characters on Doomflayer mounts, not for normal Doomflayers. Yeah, I mean, all we really use them to do is mulch infantry, so this seems like a pretty good move, but also, if we want to spend the resources, I'm going to hold off. I don't think that that's crucial. So is there anything that we want to build here? Anything at all? The only things we really can make are recruitment buildings. I mean, if we built a hidden lair, then we could hire an assassin and have him scout for us. That might be worth doing, but I really want that landmark upgrade, so we're gonna hold off and wait for that. All right, let's see if Sunscryer wants to come down here and do something. If he doesn't make a move on us, I think we'll attack Magritta. I don't see any reason to wait for a second group of rams. You don't actually have to use the rams or the siege towers to attack the city, you just have to have them. You can totally just run up to the walls and push ladders up against them and climb up and fight dudes. Granted, that's a better strategy for a faction that has functional infantry. Heavy infantry are way better in that situation. Our guys would fail to defeat the enemies up on the walls. I have no doubt in my mind that throwing a bunch of clan rats at the walls would accomplish nothing. What we can do, though, is rain gunfire and lightning on them until they are weakened, and then send our rats up the walls. Okay. Dramatically improved casualty replenishment rate. Remember, you only get your casualty replenishment rate when you're in friendly territory. The Beastmen are totally going to do the thing we asked of them, they tell us. Maybe it's even true, who knows. I don't think I want to bother getting an improvement for the Skaven slaves. They're just not... they just don't matter enough. The attribute Expendable, you might think, hey, that sounds like a bad thing. Why would I want that? What Expendable does is it causes the rest of your units to not get freaked out if the expendable unit panics and runs away or is dying or something. It makes everybody else in your army regard them as expendable, which is actually very helpful for us. I think scavenging runs might be okay. Because we are relying on clan rats quite a bit now, but also I do want to be moving toward Carv tunnels. I think we got the things we really needed. Let's move toward Carv tunnels. Casualty replenishment rate and movement rate are my two big things. Okay, those yes, Banning is showing up as reinforcements. I wasn't 100% sure if he would from ambush mode or not, but yeah, let's just go ahead and do this. And do we want to spend food? I actually kind of don't. I think we want to hold off on food because we want to use food to take this over at a higher level, right? So let's have at 'em. This should be very doable. As to whether it's very doable without significant losses, that's a more complicated question. We'll see. So you can see this is the big wall. All of the little boxes on the wall are the positions of the towers. Towers have an incredible range, and they're very, very damaging. Also, Estalia's garrison has archers in it, so as we approach the walls, we're definitely going to take some archer fire. And we're just going to have to deal. Basically, there's not really a lot else to do about it. Fortunately, I don't know if you know this, it turns out we could lose roughly 90% of our army in any given battle and basically be fine a few turns later. Recruitment is very cheap and fast. See if we can do better than 9 here. Nope. We did, in fact, just get 9. Alright, so the town has 2 gates. Seems pretty obvious to me that this is the gate we want to go for, since it's further forward. The battering ram is in exactly the right place, being pushed by a clan rat spear unit. So, we can't see it just yet, but once they take over their towers, we'll be able to see their tower firing arcs. They're pretty big. What we probably want to do is get close to the wall, close enough to the wall that the towers can't shoot at us anymore. Doing that will make it so that the archers can shoot at us, but like one problem at a time here. So a huge number of these guys who are just kind of in the open need to end up somewhere else. Although we could have... Hold on, let me grab all the Skaven slaves. Move them off to the side, out of the way. Let me not worry about you guys. We could just have the clan rats with the shields run at the wall and try to climb up in a bunch of different places. We'll definitely suffer heavy losses if we do that, but we might be able to overwhelm the enemy. The other thing we could do is just try to like hide in a corner over here away from the outside of the tower range, and then push a lot of rats in one location, which is probably better. Yeah, we don't need to be giving them a lot of opportunity to fire the towers at us. So we'll just climb the walls. And this way we're close enough to the gate that if the battering ram actually manages to get through, we can divert and go that way instead. Reinforcements are coming in way over there, which is not great in the sense that they will not be able to participate in the battle, the part of the battle the rest of us are in. But it's actually a good thing because it's unlikely that the towers over here will be manned, given the way we've set up. So I have hope that they will be able to just get up on top of the walls and get inside. Alright, everybody goes forward. Generally forward, and we'll figure it all out later. They're supposed to maintain their formation when you issue an order while holding Alt, and sometimes they want to do it, and sometimes they really, really don't. Alright, you guys, just get to that gate as quickly as possible. Alright, so the number one most important thing, spell-wise, is killing archers on top of the walls. Wow, that was pretty good lightning, actually. Am I allowed to do this on a wall? I am not. Valid targets, ground. I can do it on the ground near the wall, but it looks like the area won't really extend up onto the wall. That's fine. So we're drawing a lot of attention with the army running up, which is good for the very slow battering ram. The battering ram totally can get destroyed if the enemy fires at it too much. You can see a big warpstone crystal there on the front of it. Let's make sure these guys are making their move as quickly as possible. So if we were to see a location where there were a lot of enemies grouped up, it looked like it could be a problem for us. We do have, of course, the warpstone doom rocket. We cannot summon clan rats on the wall, but we could summon clan rats in here and have them run up onto the wall. However, if we do that, they're probably just going to get killed. That's not going to be our first priority. So should we run up onto the wall and fight these swordsmen? It's a tough call. Part of me wants to. Another part of me thinks we'll just get a lot of rats killed for very little gain. And we got to remember, this battle is not just this battle. We have to be able to hold this place from Lupio Sunscryer when he shows up. Alright, hopefully we bought them enough time. Because, like, there's no way Lupio Sunscryer doesn't show up, right? He's gonna come over here. And if we can hold on to the, the Doom Rocket through this, we should for that reason. So that we can have it to deal with him. It didn't really do that much damage. You guys have shields and stuff. You're supposed to be blocking some of this fire. Alright, let's talk about my ranged units. So you can see here what the arc of the tower is. It's pretty big, but we are pretty wholly outside of it. I'm wondering if we took the Jezzail team back to, like, here, if they'd actually be able to fire. Okay, and none of them are in there. If they could pick off dudes on the walls, that would be really helpful. Actually, we'll do the same thing with these guys. Try to just give them some kind of shot, because we really need to start dealing damage on the wall. If the battering ram gets things open, it all of a sudden becomes a lot better for us, because we can put the gunner teams in front of the gate and just fire inside for a while. Looks like we are approaching the walls. So I didn't just select them all and right-click on the wall, because if you do that, they each try to go to a different section of wall, which spreads them out unnecessarily. Alright, you guys just get up there. Looks like the Empire does have some dudes moving in. Oh no, they're gonna break and run before they get the thing to the... I forgot about the cowardice. They're gonna break and run before they get the battering ram to the gate. Come on, guys. You're almost there. I did hit the battering ram very slightly with the lightning bolt. You guys, get over there. Somebody has to get over there and man that thing. Okay, so let's talk about this. They're running a unit of halberds up onto the wall. We have our Master Assassin to help deal with that, but I'm wondering if maybe the smarter move with the Master Assassin isn't to have him run over here and start doing ranged attacks on these troops. Yeah, let's try to kill the halberds. This is only one unit of guys, so in theory we should be able to press through them. Halberdiers are elite Empire infantry, fairly elite, relatively elite, somewhat elite. But that doesn't make them, like, good. It just means they're better than we are. And that's only better than we are on a one-to-one basis. As soon as we break through the walls, and we engage these guys in front-to-front combat, that's when the Menace Below summons will begin. Right now, we're just in harassment mode, mostly. I suppose, actually, I could be doing this. That is not, in fact, the Warp Lightning. But I love that you're excited about Warp Lightning. Are we operating the... Can't tell if we're operating the ram? Okay, no, we are. Yeah, there we go. It's punching. It's doing stuff. So, there's a control point in the back of the enemy city. The control point is responsible for some portion of their morale. If we go over there and we capture it, they lose leadership. And they'll start to lose control points eventually. That's what this number here is. They'll start to lose victory points. So I'm going to send a unit of guys over there to grab that. Okay, gates down. That's very interesting. How do we want to proceed from here? Sorry, I missed the pause button entirely. Unfortunately, Steam notifications come up in the top right in this game, despite the fact that this is maybe the worst game for them to do that in. Do we want to just rush through the hole and plug it with bodies? Kinda. Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking. Okay, do that. So now, if we want to put the gunners over here to fire in, we do actually have to start running rats up onto the walls because otherwise the crossbows will just have a huge advantage on us. They'll just fire down into us and make our lives miserable. So we're going to start moving our forces into wall climbing territory here. We're going to do a little bit more Warp Lightning just because, you know, these guys have got to get shaken up. But I think this is a good sign. So we're going to wait until the rats have made contact. We are not going to have anybody climb the parts of the wall where there are melee troops. Here we go. I need actual... Wait, no, these are Skaven slaves. You guys, your job is to go fight halberds. I need like a relatively healthy unit of clan rats. There we go. climb up here. How's that infiltration unit going? Are they infiltrationing? They are not. Hey, you guys. Oh no, here they are, here they are. They're doing it, they're moving. Knocking down weirdly positioned tents. Don't know why the enemy had set up tents over there. Alright, this seems like a really good opportunity for a brass orb. Now that they're pressing in. And as soon as the brass orb's over, we're going to summon clan rats. Oh hey, the gunners all of a sudden decided that they could shoot. Oh, I forgot. Sometimes spells don't behave the way you would like around walls. They like bounce off of the wall. So you guys run up here and make their lives difficult. Alright. I think the time for the rattling gun to move over at least. Well, actually, we're all firing. I don't know that we're hitting anything. And we're doing very, very small amounts of damage. Make sure that the Jezzails are... We're setting the Jezzails up far-ish from the walls, but not so far from the walls that the towers are a factor. Yeah, okay, that should be fine. And at this point, they're starting to get distracted, so I'm going to have some of the Skaven slaves start moving up onto the side of the wall. Basically, we're just trying to envelop them here. Let's get a couple more units of crummy Skaven slaves over here to climb this part of the wall. How's this all going? I like their lord just standing back and watching. Even though he would be attacking a relatively weak melee unit in the flank, he's just like, oh, I'll watch from here. You guys got it. I believe in you. How much does upgraded cracks call? Okay, 12. I want to do it, but we have to be careful about the wall when we do it. Alright, there we go. We're getting some gunfire off now. Looks like you guys can just start climbing this wall, probably. The enemies have moved on in their infinite cowardice. It is a shame you can't do spells like Crack's Call on top of a wall, because, boy, that would be effective. I mean, that's also definitely why you can't do it. Okay, we eventually defeated the halberds. We are claiming their victory point. They have no troops to spare. They're going to send their lord back to do it by himself. To be perfectly honest, that might work. They might totally win that. I'm not sure what these guys are doing at all. I think they're responding to the like legions of Skaven slaves that we sent over here, which means that these Skaven slaves are now having more of an effect on the battle by just running around near the wall than they ever possibly could by engaging in the fight. Alright, those guys are losing. You can see we've taken control of a couple of the towers. This one is still belongs to these enemies. You guys climbing? Did you guys forget your orders? Get over here. Climb the wall. Get up there and be a nuisance.
Open veins.
You guys may as well go for the town center, because it looks like the outer wall is pretty much ours. And this is clan rats. They're, like, reasonably... They're better fighters than the slaves, at least. They'll hold the guy off for a while. It will take a while for him to get the kill. Starting to run low on ammunition here. The Skaven slaves are now waddling back into combat, ashamed of their previous behavior. Alright, looks like we could have a lot of people actually move inside. How's this going? About how you would expect. Reinforcements are moving in quickly. I mean, the assassin. This is the assassin's whole thing, is fighting single elite characters. So I have high hopes. Oh, he's stopped because he wants to engage in ranged combat. Maybe you should, Boy, he's enthusiastic. You gotta give him that. Maybe you could, like, get over here and not fight those guys? Fight these random idiots? Alright. The enemy stronghold will soon be yours. It turns out we've turned this completely yellow. They were not able to get enough troops in here to stop us from taking control of it. Let's see if we can have these guys clear out a little bit, because right now the Master Assassin's going to have a hard time shooting at their hero. Okay, there you go. You're hitting him. Damage is being done. We just gotta not let him be completely enveloped. Alright, get up on the wall and kill. Why is Ikit Claw on the... I told him to run forward. I did not imagine that he would interpret that as get up on the wall. That was very good warp lightning. Okay, yeah, our assassin's totally doing the job. That hero is going to give up shortly. You guys can just all come over here, declare yourselves the kings of Magritta. Alright, taking it was the easy part. Holding it might be harder. A lot's going to come down to the actual position of Lupio Sunscryer's army, which is a piece of information we simply do not have. It's like you guys could maybe get inside at this point. Okay, they finally gave up. The AI likes to hold out. They like to pretend there's any chance of a victory for a lot longer than there is actually any chance of a victory. So pretty minimal losses there. I mean, if you look at the numbers up here, those numbers look large. But look at how much bar is left. Remember, there's just a lot of us. There's just a whole acre of Skaven. So now that we have Magritta, Estalia has probably lost their... they've probably lost most of their ability to recruit soldiers. They're going to be able to still recruit the very basic stuff from Bilbali, but this is going to break their army. Provided that they aren't able to use the army they already have to immediately take it back. That's the real danger. Horace Albrecht managed to kill 32 Skaven in the town square before giving in to his deep primal terror. Frankly, that's an embarrassing number. How can you call yourself a general of the Empire and only kill 32 Skaven? Listen, I don't know exactly how many he's going to need to kill in order to hold off the Vermintide, but I know that's a hell of a lot more than that. Alright, managed to put together 13 more food. So we definitely want to occupy this settlement at the highest possible food level. Alright, get more man things. Ooh, a Talisman of Protection. Ward save is just flat damage reduction against all types of damage, so that's a pretty handy talisman. You are going to go ahead and grab Flensing Ruin. We're headed toward unlimited power just as quickly as we can get there. You are taking the mandatory first point on all lords. I don't even know why they make you make the decision anymore. Alright, sit there in ambush mode, wait for Lupio Sunscryer to come by. Actually, how much movement do you have right now? You could move a little closer. I just want to be absolutely certain that he is inside of reinforcement range of the city garrison. Okay, so we're having a little bit of a public order issue right now because of all the conquests and everything, but now that we hold the capital of the region, the rebellion army will definitely appear right here, and we'll just trivially kill it. Definitely want to upgrade... Hold on. I do want to upgrade that port. But for real, this is so very important. Let's make this happen. And then the port will have to come in a little while. Oh, they have iron here. Iron mining pit will make us a little bit of money. And also some trade goods that we don't actually benefit from in any way. Can we... Yeah, we could build a Taskmaster's platform. I'm wondering if this is a thing we need to do here. It's really, really important that this region remains stable for us. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And this gives us access to local clan rat recruitment, which is very handy. We should probably do a little bit of that. Now we get to recruit our clan rats at rank 2, which is nice. So next turn, you can see, look at how much bigger the replenishment bars on our units are already. So yeah, next turn we will definitely be in a good position to take down a rebellion. His army took almost no damage. Okay. Now if the Tillian army were to march on Skaven Blight, we would definitely be in some trouble here. If we can just if the Tillians just stay distracted by other things until we're done dealing with the Estalians, we can make the Tillians the next priority. It might be tough for us to defend Bilbali from the Bretonnians, unfortunately. But as long as we don't lose Magritta, I don't care too much. Okay, the Beastmen are running away from the place that they claimed they were going to come and help us with. That's not a great sign. That's fine. We just can't rely on them, I guess. I had such hopes. When they offered the alliance, I was like, yes, we will ravage the Empire of Man together. And then cowardice, such cowardice. Even beyond the amount of cowardice that you would ordinarily expect from a Skaven. I bet if we just take these dudes down right now, we'll be able to stabilize the public order in this province. So let's not wait for them to rebuild. We'll just take them out right now. Just get as close as possible. Get over here and crush these guys. And I think we're just going to take food from them. Yeah, rebellions are a really good way of generating food. Warpstone tokens. Plus wins a power magic reserve, but also plus miscast chance. We're going to take that off. I do not want you using that item. So man, we're leveling up really quickly. So I think we're going to grab magical reserves for the 4th point in this box, and then next level up we can get unlimited power, which means we will have a ton of casting resource all the time, but we're going to have to be really careful about Ikit's health. No Warpstone tokens for you, please. You have this Obsidian Amulet. I would rather you have 10% all magic reduction or all damage reduction than 15% magic damage reduction. Alright, well this is going better already. Is there... Okay, there is a landmark at Maragliano. I thought there was one at Magritta too, but I guess not.
Where are my schematics?
What do we want to do? Do we want to... We have to figure out where Sunscryer is. We're going to use this army to, like, just probe forward a little bit. My guess is that if he didn't move out of Bilbali before the battle, or before the battle from Magritta, he's probably still there. Alright, come back a little. I don't want you that far forward, in case he comes down the road. And I think we're going to have Ikit Claw maybe chill out in Magritta one more turn. Just to get the really, really good replenishment. You get way more replenishment when you're in a friendly settlement than you do when you're just standing around in friendly lands. And I think we can turn taxation back on. I think we have, like, a real semi-functional economy now. What do we want to do here? We do have the ability to build... What was it that we have to build to improve the workshop? Level 2 forbidden... Is the Forbidden Workshop just a building? Or hold on. It's this. Upgrade requirements for the previous workshop level have not been met. So we have to build a Warpstone tractor beam somewhere. This is how we level this up. Okay. Warpstone tractor beam. That's... Oh, that's this. That's the thing we're building toward right now. We're already doing it because we're so intelligent and good at the video game. I might want to turn off taxation here for a little while, actually. We don't desperately need the money, and I really do want Skaven Blight not to get back into a rebellion state while we're busy over here. How are we doing on Skaven corruption? Okay, we're pushing it up. It makes our lands unruly, but hard to argue with the free reinforcements, you know? So if the Estalians really are just chilling out in Bilbali, once Ikit Claw's army is back at full health, we could just roll over there with our 30 units and probably kill them in a battle at the settlement. And that's definitely the thing we should do if we can get away with it. Unfortunately, we don't know exactly what the state of that army is. We know the last time we saw it, it was like 7 or 8 units of crossbowmen and then just a bunch of basic stuff. That's an army we can probably defeat, although not without some losses. But they might potentially have recruited more interesting stuff in the couple of turns between when we lost sight of that and when we took out Magrita. So let's try to... Alright. Why is this glowing green like this? I don't actually know what that means. Oh, it's an indication that that's where I set my war coordination target.
Not likely. I refuse.
Okay, it looks like they may not have made any changes. How many turns do we want to leave you back here? Probably one more turn? Yeah, that'll get everybody back full up. And we can put walls up at Tobaro with the amount of money we have here. Oh, we should probably upgrade the port. That's the thing we should do. So I guess we're just going to have you fall back a little bit. We could leave him in ambush mode right here, but odds are pretty good that, like, if that army rides down the road and he's sitting there in ambush mode, he's just going to have to flee from them anyway. It doesn't actually help us that much. And how many turns until I can build another Doom Rocket? Not that we definitely will on cooldown, but, like, there's a pretty good chance. There's a non-zero chance that I will build a second Doom Rocket for helping us deal with Estalia. At this point, if we break Lupio Sunsquare's army in the field, they're done as a faction, and we get a whole very valuable province. And hopefully our tunneling expands out through Tilia at the same time without needing any extra help from us. Oh, Kazrak's sort of running back in the right direction. He has a whole complicated economy thing where he has to constantly be raiding, otherwise they run out of money to pay the Beastmen, and I didn't even know Beastmen had to be paid. But it's possible that he's going to make a bunch of decisions that appear to us to be nonsensical because he just has to keep his raiding income above a certain level. I've not played a ton of Beastmen, but the little bit I did play of them, it seems like a miserable time. Not really my favorite faction. All right, let us march north. We're going to continue to march north in a very sneaky, Skavenly appropriate fashion. Lots of ambush creeping. Bilbali still has, yeah, the very small basic 6-unit garrison. Absolutely carve me up some undertunnels. We can also get... We can research how to murder dissenters. You'd think that would be a thing the Skaven would already know about. And also plus loyalty for new recruits. Yeah, none of that is anywhere near as important as 10% movement range for all armies for the rest of the game. The next settlement upgrade is at 4 population surplus. You can see it's going to be a long time before we hit 4. So we might want to do this. Actually, the next thing we probably want to do is upgrade this to an Overseer's Lookout. That's not enough to stop the settlement from going into rebellion every so often by itself, but it will slow it down at least. And we're just going to be operating at 0 food for a while, until we can get our economy functional. We need more settlements, and then we need to build food buildings in those settlements, and then we also need to constantly be winning battles. It's very difficult to manage a Skaven empire. Everybody's always hungry. It's so many hungry mouths. So very, very many. You know what? It looks like he is actually trying to get over here now. He's going to go through the elf forest, which I don't think is a very good idea, personally. He's probably going to get elfed real bad, but at least he's trying. Nope. Goblins. Well, it looks like the Beastmen did wipe out the Goblin army, and at the cost of only 80-ish% of their own troops. So basically, don't rely on any assistance from them anytime soon. The world yields to those who master the winds of magic. Great bolts from the heavens scour souls from bodies, whilst raging torrents of fire rend the very flesh from bone, etc., etc. Magic is very dangerous, and now everybody has a lot more of it for the next 10 turns. That is tremendously bad for the Porostalians. So where's the edge of my territory is now up here. We could recruit clan rats all the way up to here. We should probably do some more recruitment. I'll tell you what, here's what we should do. We're going to have him walk up until he is within vision of Bilbali. Ooh, wow, they're actually able to put together a second army? I'm shocked they have the money. I figured when this guy was in encampment mustering mode, he was just like, that's just because he didn't have anything else to do. Okay, my plan here is we start recruiting more clan rats right here in front of them, and then we leave this army right here in ambush mode. So if the enemies want to attack this, they walk into Ikit Claw's red zone and get blown up. I'm a little worried about the fact that they're apparently going to be able to bring 32 units of their own. And we still don't have the power to recruit our really good stuff yet. We're so close. I think I stick to the plan, but I'm not happy about the way this is going. And yeah, we definitely want to spend some money on this. Public order. Public order is tremendously important. Okay, so you are going to recruit just a couple of these guys. Do we want some swords? I mean, the clan rats really don't deal a lot of damage. A lot of this is just about surviving until the wizards and the doom players can get their things done. It is 7 points of melee attack, though. And the swords are a little cheaper. And yeah, that does basically guarantee that they are worse, but... Alright, here's the thing. We're now an hour into this episode, and I don't think we have time for this big battle, but here's how we're set up. This is where we're going to leave it for the moment, but come back next time, tomorrow, there's going to be an episode tomorrow, when we see how well our brilliant ambush works, and whether we lose all of our military units or not. And we'll see you then.